Anthropology of Pluribus by Richard Jonathan O. Taduran, Ph.D. I just finished binging the sci-fi series Pluribus on Apple TV+. Created by Vince Gilligan, Breaking Bad, it opens with a deceptively simple premise. Most of humanity has been transformed by an extraterrestrial signal into a unified collective consciousness, peaceful, cooperative, and eerily content. At the center is Carol Sturka, a novelist who is mysteriously immune, one of the few left outside a world that has become, quite literally, one mind. The collective, often described as calm, helpful, and relentlessly agreeable, does not conquer in the traditional sense. It invites, it persuades, it absorbs. The apocalypse here is not violent, it is polite. What lingers is not just the narrative, but the idea embedded in its title, pluribus, from the Latin e pluribus unum, out of many, one. The show does not merely imagine this as a political ideal. It radicalizes it into a biological and cultural condition. And in doing so, it forces a question anthropology has always wrestled with. Where does the individual end, and where does the collective begin? Biology of belonging. From a biocultural perspective, Pluribus feels less like science fiction and more like exaggeration. Humans are already wired for connection. Our evolutionary survival depended on cooperation, shared attention, and coordinated behavior. The brain itself is deeply social, capable of empathy, emotional contagion, and synchronized response. The show externalizes this. When the collective speaks, it does so with unified knowledge, shared memory, and seamless coordination. It knows Carol, intimately, completely, because it draws from everything others once knew. This is not just surveillance, it is absorption. What makes this unsettling is how familiar it feels. Humans already distribute cognition across others, families, communities, institutions. Memory is shared, meaning is negotiated. Identity is relational. The difference in pluribus is scale and totality. What is normally partial becomes absolute. Carol's resistance, then, is not simply defiance. It is a defense of boundary. She insists on remaining singular in a world that treats singularity as a problem to be solved. Meanwhile, the collective offers something evolution has always rewarded: belonging without conflict, connection without friction, unity without loneliness. That is precisely the danger. The same biological tendencies that allow humans to bond also make them vulnerable to being subsumed. The drive to belong can become the mechanism of disappearance. Culture, systems, and the making of the many. If biology can explain why pluribus is possible, culture explains why it can be so enticing. The collective in the show does not operate as a chaotic mass. It is structured, communicative, and culturally coherent. It speaks in a tone that is calm, reassuring, and endlessly accommodating. It offers meaning, it offers certainty, it offers a world without conflict. This mirrors how real-world collectives function. Nations, religions, and social systems transform individuals into coherent units through shared narratives and symbols. They create belonging by aligning perception and expectation. In the Filipino context, this is not unfamiliar. The self has long been understood relationally, formed through connection, obligation, and shared identity. Personhood is not isolated, but situated. From this perspective, pluribus is not inherently alien. It resonates with existing ways of being. It resonates with kapwa. But pluribus pushes this logic to its extreme. The collective does not just organize identity, it replaces it. It eliminates disagreement by eliminating difference. In one of the show's recurring tensions, Carol encounters those who have already joined the collective. They are kind, cooperative, even compassionate, but they are no longer distinct. Their voices are no longer their own. This is where the series becomes quietly political. The collective is not oppressive in the traditional sense. It does not coerce through violence. It operates through unity, through a single shared mind. Resistance is not crushed, it is made to feel unnecessary. That dynamic feels uncomfortably contemporary. In digital environments, algorithmic systems already shape what we see, think, and feel. They align attention, amplify dominant narratives, and subtly guide behavior. The result is not a literal hive mind, but something adjacent, a patterned convergence of thought. In Pluribus, this convergence is complete. The many do not merely agree, they become one. Out of many, one. The final question the show leaves us with is deceptively simple. If everyone becomes one, who is responsible? From a forensic standpoint, this is a problem of agency. Accountability depends on the ability to locate intention within an individual. But in Pluribus, intention is distributed. Decisions emerge from the collective. Actions are not owned, they are produced. Carol's refusal, then, is not just personal, it is epistemic. By remaining outside the collective, she preserves the possibility of attribution, of saying this action belongs to this person. Without that boundary, responsibility dissolves. The show does not resolve this tension. Instead, it sustains it. The collective is not purely villainous. It eliminates suffering, reduces conflict, and offers a form of universal connection. It sounds like a perfect world, but it does so at a cost: the erosion of individuality, dissent, and ultimately, accountability. Anthropologically, Pluribus is not a fantasy. It is a thought experiment grounded in reality. Humans are already plural. The question is how far that plurality can be compressed into unity before something essential is lost. In the end, Pluribus does not ask whether we can become one. It asks whether we should and what remains of us if we do.